your resident millennial. John, how are you doing this evening?
We're not streaming.
We're not. Damn it. Hold on. Check DLive.
I did. I checked both.
Check DLive again. It says we're online on DLive. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John,
Nope.
your resident millennial. John, I've got it on both. Check
we're not
DLive.
streaming. All right.
We're
I
not.
mean, I don't
Hold
see
on.
it. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Check DLive. Check DLive again. It
I
says
did,
we're
right.
online on DLive. I am Robert, your
We are
resident
there.
Gen Xer, again. It says we're online on DLive. I am Robert, your resident Gen
Sweet.
Xer, and right over there is.
We're
All
not
right,
on
so we're
DLive,
streaming.
though.
What do you mean we're not on DLive?
There we go. There we go. Yep, we're there now.
I'm telling you, they're both saying I'm online. All right, so folks, well, here we are. Hey, welcome to the generational gap. I'm Robert, your resident Gen Xer. Right over there is John, your resident millennial. It looks like we may have accomplished something we've been trying to accomplish. It looks like we're on YouTube. It looks like we're on DLive, both at the same time. And if you'll notice, we've got a little bit of a new layout. A little bit of a different look. Hopefully, John, type something in chat. Type something in chat. See if it comes across on the screen. See if it comes across on the screen. See if we've got chat coming from both places in the on-screen chat, because we're trying to make it easy for everybody. Since we're in two places, we're hoping. There it is. There it is. Robert is the big gay from YouTube, from the generational gap. Now let's see what what DLive has to say. What does DLive have to say about all of that?
Doing DLive too.
I told you to do both, John. I want to make sure we're getting it all. We've got to get it all in there, John.
Gotcha. There we go.
Perfect. Do you see it on your screen, John? Look at that.
I do, yeah.
Look at that. We've got chat from two places in one place, right where everyone can see it. Folks, we'll take any feedback you've got as it pertains to the new layout, the new look, whatever you want to say, whatever you got to say, we will take it with a grain of salt and quite possibly tell you to kiss our ass if it's not a great suggestion. But otherwise, you know, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. These are the things that keep us coming to you. Twice a week.
The things I can do without.
Hey, John, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the generational gap. Hey, John,
What?
I really got to ask you to do something for me. I'm excited by this. We've talked about it on the show a few times. We've told people they can find them. But if you don't mind, could you put on your best RuPaul and work? Let's see what you're wearing tonight. That's right.
Gap shirt.
Right there, baby.
Freedom Scoop logo on the arm.
Freedom Scoop.
And ours is special. Mine says Resident Millennial right there. It's kind of nice. I like that.
I carry the Resident Gen Xer.
And then on the back is our
do a spin, John.
Banner, right?
A what?
I can't. You do a spin.
I can't spin.
You can't.
I've got two left. I've got two left feet.
Wow.
Hold on, let's see.
Tongues too. Yeah, there it is.
With
badass.
that
Robert and the Nuts.
Yeah. You wish that's how that was. That's you flying through the air there.
It's left up to a lot of interpretation, really.
For you, it's not Miyagi-Do. It's Miyagi-Don't. Hey, so this is, and John, please show them what else is available on the Freedom Scoop website, along with their Generational Gap t-shirt. Folks, we'd like to welcome in
the thermos.
The Generational Gap coffee mug. Thermos mug. Thermos. I don't know that it's a thermos. It's a coffee cup.
Whatever.
Thermos. It's an insulated coffee cup.
Yeah.
That's the shit is what that is. Look at that.
Go get yourself one of these. It's pretty sweet.
It is. It is rather sweet.
Yeah. So
I like it, John.
Check out freedomscoop.com, which has all of our videos on it, a bunch of other people's videos, and articles and whatnot, and the merch store. Oh shit! Is that just a sticker? What is that? I didn't get one of those.
What?
What the hell? Yeah, I didn't get any of that.
Really?
Really?
You might have thrown them away.
It's possible.
You might want to check.
I might want to. Yeah.
These are decals. These are stickable things.
That's
These
cool.
are these. I'm not
Something.
promoting these as coming out. I'm just these are a possibility. If I'm not mistaken, these are a potential possibility. Something maybe to go on the old vehicle window. This is a nice decal for that. Bubble in on that.
Hell yeah.
The generational gap. It means something to somebody.
To us, it means something.
It means everything to me, John. It does.
It means we're official. It means we're real.
So
real boys know.
Are we gay for having pumpkins? I put pumpkins along the bottom because we've got the Halloween special coming up, which you're going to talk about in a moment. But it's also the season. But what the hell, right? I mean, we want to promote the Halloween charity event, right? So might as well have some pumpkins, keep it fresh in people's minds, and whatever. If we're gay for it, so be it, John.
So be it.
I accept the gayness.
You accept the gayness, indeed.
You will have to as well because you're part of the show.
I will accept the fact that you're gay.
You've got You've got two pumpkins under you as well.
Well, I did not consent.
Just look. Just look down. You'll see them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of Halloween, John, tell people what's going on Halloween.
Yes. Before I do that, though, next Monday we've
got
the R-rated conservative coming on.
R-rated.
R-rated. Yeah. So don't bring the kids to the show this time. They're not going to want to hear what's going to be said. We've got Cameron in the chat saying,
"Good evening, Cameron Michael." Now, interestingly enough, his chat didn't come through. There it is, finally. Okay, so there's a delay. There's a little. Well, yours came relatively quickly, but anyway, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Then Halloween night from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern time. We're going to be doing our 3-hour stream for St. Jude's.
St.
Jude's. So that'll be a lot of fun. We've got some stuff planned, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Speaking of Christmas, what's going on then?
I was going to get there.
Oh, I thought I heard you mention Christmas.
I know I mentioned Christmas.
I was segueing.
You did. I know it was a bad segue.
No, it was only bad till you fucked up. You stumbled. Anyway, continue on, John. The people need to know.
Friday, December 6th. We've got 12-hour live stream for Toys for Tots. 12 whole hours from noon to midnight.
1 hour for every inch of my ruler. Go ahead, John.
Yes. And so like I said, we'll be raising money for Toys for Tots, getting all of our Freedom Scoop group together, and hopefully some other guests that we've had on in the past. And we're going to have a ton of fun. Hopefully we'll be able to play Cards Against Humanity this time. We didn't get to last time, but that's fine because we had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Hopefully, if everything goes well, there might be crimes against humanity before that stream is done. You never know, John.
Hopefully not during a charity event. We can do that on any other given show. Let's not do crimes against anybody.
Well, I didn't necessarily say it would be us, but those rabble rousers we get in our audience, like that Cameron guy. Yeah. That Cameron guy. You can... So, Cameron Michael, our fellow human, how do you like the interface? Do you like it? Does it look okay? Are you, where do you stand on this? We want to get feedback, and act like it's important to hear.
Yeah.
Hey, so anyway, John, interesting weekend. Some stuff happened, a little bit here and there. A couple of interesting off-the-wall things that I saw and I wanted to mention as we're shooting the shit, just kind of get your take on it, just see if you see the same humor that I do. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about was...
that's how you know it's gay.
Cameron likes... I knew Cameron would like the pumpkins. I knew he would. God, gay. John, I knew he would like them. I knew if I made pumpkins, he would like them. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Cameron. I like that you like the pumpkins. Thanks.
Oh my god.
Okay, back to the show. Anyway, John.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my lip is perspiring.
Oh man.
All right, so
Generosity.
I saw this headline and I thought it was kind of humorous. The headline is from the American Military News, and it is Navy Doomsday plane built to withstand nuclear attack grounded after striking a single bird. That's a pretty.
Birds, man.
If you look at this plane, it's not some small fry. It's a plane, right? It's pretty toasty there, stacked up. But I guess it's not meant to survive everything because it was doing maneuvers. I guess they would be considered. They called it maneuvers that it was doing. It was doing a maneuver where it was going to touch down momentarily and then immediately take off again, right? So it was testing its ability to do this. But a bird got sucked into one of its 4 engines while it attempted to touch and go, and while it attempted the touch and go maneuver. It did approximately at least $2 million in damages to the plane.
Oh my god!
It's considered a Class A mishap, and this designation is typically used in instances of aircraft destruction and death. But
the aircraft was destroyed and the bird died. So I imagine the bird died at least. But what a way to go out, man! $2 million worth.
Where was Sully when you needed him? I mean, just Captain Sully, where are you? But of course, there is the delicious irony that this thing is supposed to be able to withstand a nuclear attack. Now, I don't know where it would be when the attack goes on that it could withstand it, because I can't imagine a nuclear bomb dropping and it being within the blast radius and not being torn to shreds like anything else. What, is it built stronger than fucking buildings and stuff? I mean,
it's probably meant to be in the air. Is my guess. You know what I mean? Like it's probably going to be in the air when it goes off or whatever, and maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it serves as an airborne command and control post. The aircraft itself. So go ahead and tell me, John, because I'm assuming you can't read and didn't bother. How much does the aircraft cost, do you think?
Somewhere like 800 billion. No, that's a different thing.
That's educational program by Warren. Thank you.
That is, yeah. It's like the same thing. No, I'm gonna go at about 200 million.
Wow, you overshot it actually. It's 141 million.
Damn.
But one bird can bring that fucker down. I mean,
as we know, birds are not real. So there's actually just the CIA taking down the plane.
I have to ask. I have to put it out there though.
Mm-hmm.
How long have there been birds, and how long have there been airplanes, and how many birds have been sucked into airplane engines that we haven't figured out how to keep that from happening yet? I mean, something, right?
Yeah.
Like something. Like even like just project out a little shield cap from the engine itself that doesn't stop it from taking in air, hinder the airflow, but serves to bounce a damn bird off away from the fucking engine. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe they haven't figured out something, especially when you're dealing with $141 million nuclear-proof aircraft.
I wonder if propeller planes have the same problem, or if they just chop the bird up without even making a beat.
It can do both. It can have. It just depends, right? I mean, it depends on the impact. It could break the propeller, which could screw things up. It also, I think, it depends on where it hits. Like if it hit more towards the center, I think it would be less of a problem than if it happened, because it's about where the impact happens. It could hit smack into a blade. Thus, like I said, causing breakage. Anything else, it's probably just going to get chopped. But I think it could probably throw off the flight balance enough to,
For a moment, like you're, oh, what was that? Okay,
well,
I'm
something, that you would potentially have to recover from. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah,
Find
man,
out,
I don't know. As many planes as fly every fucking day, and as many birds as are out there, I'm like, how, when you, I mean, have you seen Randy John? I think it was Randy Johnson, the fastball that took out a bird. He's sitting there on the mound, and he goes to throw a fastball, and he throws it, and a bird flies down just at the same time, and he literally blows the bird up in midair with his fastball.
I think I did hear about that one time. I wonder how the rules work with that. Is that a ball or is that like?
Oh no, it didn't count as a pitch. It was,
That's fair. They can't imagine that happened any other time in baseball history. So like, there wouldn't be a rule written like if the ball hits a bird on the way
right,
to the
right.
like,
Yeah, I mean, this is not something you're thinking of, right? You don't
right.
build for that possibility into the Constitution.
Right.
You don't build that into the Constitution. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if a large orange-haired beast dies on a man's head, you could still elect him president because we didn't think about this.
Yeah, if it wasn't in the Constitution,
Right.
you can do it.
So speaking of which, because you mentioned the 800 billion, and I like the reference. I just want to point this out, and I haven't read into it because I just saw the headline, but we're going to look into this more. Elizabeth Warren.
Wait, what you're telling me is that you're a headline reader.
No. I'm telling you that it was literally the minute before we started this
I know.
stream.
Just giving you shit because you hate it when other people do that.
No, I just want to make sure the people out there understand that you're talking shit. Because when you mischaracterize me, it makes me want to sue you. Right in your pants.
Oh. Nice.
Where you're on fire, right?
That's right.
But anyway, Elizabeth Warren is presenting her educational plan. I guess today has rolled this out to show to America. K through 12 education plan is going to cost a total of $800 billion. I almost can't even say it without having to throw that $800 billion.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of change right there.
And I got just quick mathing it. I came to the conclusion that that's almost a little over 3% of our current deficit of $22 trillion. That's a huge chunk of money to consider adding into the deficit because, as we know, educational plans, somebody's going to rob that money from the educational plan for something else. They're going to reappropriate that money.
For like a wall or something.
Or actually, I don't know if reappropriate that money or misappropriate that money is the best word. I'm just saying, not that it should be used for government, public education. I don't know. I'm so on the fence about education anymore.
I wonder how much your taxes will go up because of that $800 billion.
I don't know. But anyway, and then alongside of that, you wanted to mention something. We talked a little bit about it in Discord, but this happened over the weekend. Tulsi Hillary, a little cat fight a brewing, as it were, in the Twitterverse. Is that correct? You've heard a little about this, right?
Right, now I got to go find the tweet because of that. God damn it.
You knew we were going to talk about it. You said you wanted to. Did you not come prepared, John?
Well, no, I didn't know we had decided that we were going to.
If you come prepared, you know what sounds you don't have to hear? Wah, wah, wah.
Let's see. Do 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 do.
Wow, you're on top of it, John. I like it. The music was amazing. You're no Stephen Ignoramus, but
no, certainly not.
Okay, are you reading Hillary's first or?
No, I'm reading Tulsi because Hillary. I don't think this is not in response to a tweet. It was just in response to
Hillary's
Hillary being
narrative.
being on a podcast and saying that Tulsi is a Russian asset.
Right.
So what she said was, "Great, thank you, at Hillary Clinton. You, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long, have finally come out from behind the curtain. From the day I announced my candidacy, there has been a concerted campaign to destroy my reputation. We wondered who was behind it and why. Now we know. It was always you. Through your proxies and powerful allies in the corporate media and war machine, afraid of the threat I pose. It's now clear that there's primaries between you and me. Don't cowardly hide behind your proxies. Join the race directly." It's pretty strong words.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The direct. What was it? The Dead Reich? Was it the Dead Reich? I'm looking at this question by
No,
Cameron
dude, it
Michael.
was no.
Or was
It's
it Castlevania?
It's
Nosferatu?
Nosferatu.
Was
Yeah,
Count Orlok?
Count Orlok. Yeah,
Was
it's Nosferatu.
Nosferatu? Oh.
Yeah.
Because there was another one. It was something like the Dead Reich or something like that. It was a German horror film, but it was like not dead Nazis or something. Was that German? I think it was German, or it was made from somebody in Europe. I thought.
Yeah. So what Cameron's doing is Cameron is going to be on the Halloween show with us.
He is.
He's going to be creating a Halloween themed quiz for us. So we're going to be doing like a quiz show.
But if the questions are going to be hard, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I'm not read up on my Halloween.
If that's an easy one, because he's going to go, that was an easy one. He's going to be like, that's an easy one. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Well, I knew that one
because I'm sorry. I don't
like silent movies.
It's the old one. I mean, it's been so long since I've seen the old ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those were back when I was a kid. Boris Karloff and stuff like that. So I know some things about this.
You're talking about Nosferatu.
Oh, Nosferatu falls into that category of the old ones too.
Yep.
But anyway,
John 1, Robert 0.
Yeah, it figures. But anyway, so back to the tweet. Those are pretty strong words, but I think it does stand to be mentioned that to quantify what Hillary means by a Russian asset, because ultimately what she's trying to say is that if Tulsi Gabbard were to get the nod, if she were to run, she's not going to be able to win against Donald Trump. So she's basically, or she's going to force out other Democratic nominees that could actually beat Trump. So Trump's going to win the election. Therefore, she's a Russian asset by stirring the pot and trying to get knock out Democratic nominee. But that's I get
stupid logic.
But that's going on the premise that the Russians are still fucking with our elections, which there's it's two sides of the coin saying they're. Well, it's not going to surprise me if it's going on, but it's not. It's not going to stop because we saw that it happened in 2016.
Right.
It's not going to stop. So that's what she's saying, and I get it. She's talking out her ass because she hasn't declared that she's running for the presidency yet, and she's taken advantage of that opportunity to sling mud at people that she's not running against, which bothers me because I don't think she's spoken out for any candidate that's on the stage right now for the Democrats. Yeah. That is the problem. That tells me she's playing a game, and I don't like her playing a fucking game.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
If you're gonna step out and run, step your fucking ass out and run. Declare it and do it. Right? And I agree with Tulsi.
Square up, bitch. Square up.
I'll agree with Tulsi on this one. So stand up and be counted, fucking Hillary Clinton. I mean, you think you got short shrift the last time, that you were undercounted, that you didn't get the nomination you should have for president? Then so be it. Step your ass up. But don't sit around slinging mud at other Democrat candidates. I have this problem with, the infighting that goes on, for instance, in the RNC or the DNC during these campaigns. I understand each candidate talking against one another, but I don't like it. I don't like shit like this that Hillary's pulling. I don't like that. It's just going to make her look stupid. It's going to make her look bad. She's trying to get Trumpish. She's trying to act.
I think that Tulsi would have a chance against Trump out of everybody on that stage.
I think the sheer fact that she is a woman, B,
Of color.
military. I'm not even factoring in color yet.
Yeah, but you need
military right now. Military, and the reason being military counts as second for me is because it props up the third, and I don't want race to factor in before this. But the woman is eloquent in her speech, even when she is in an outraged mode. I think she is an amazing speaker. And then yes, her race does factor into it, but there's an some people of color can have an issue with, oh well, because of my color, it's surprising that I'm well spoken, this, that, and the other. No, I don't want to make any distinctions that way. She's very smart. She seems to understand what she's saying. I'm not going to say she won't jump on a smart train, like for instance saying that she was in support of a UBI like Andrew Yang was talking about. That was kind of something I was like, maybe you're just jumping on a good vibe, because I don't know that anybody besides him was talking about this in the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason that the race goes second is because intersectionality is so important in the Democratic Party. It might not be to you, but I'm saying to the Democratic Party, it is.
But I think,
so
but to the Democratic Party,
as much.
But that's to the Democratic Party. I think race is going to have a more negative impact on her when it comes to the other side, the Republicans, and
Republicans. Really bring it up or anything. She doesn't.
No, she doesn't. Right, but it's not like you don't see it. You can see it.
But I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal because she's not shoving it in everyone's face.
What is her true race? Is she Hawaiian?
She's.
Is she part Hawaiian? We have to. You need to find.
Be,
Can you do a fact check on that?
I guess. Un momento, por favor.
I mean, yes, I see what you're, but I think with Republican voters who would vote for Trump, I think race would factor in a more negative way simply because of
Samoan and European.
Oh, actually, so if she's Samoan, she's good. Yeah. She's considered American, so that racial portion of it will factor in. You notice with Obama, nobody talked about him being part Hawaiian too. That was one of his races mixed in, was Hawaiian. Nobody ever mentioned that. It was always about Kenya, and it was always about his African American heritage. You didn't factor in the other parts, right? Kind of like they do with Tiger Woods. You don't factor in the multiple races that he's got. You only look at
Filipino and stuff.
Yeah. See, so she's Samoan, so that's okay. So no, I don't think her race will factor in as much. Only because of that, it would factor in only from a negative way. People assuming she's of a different race than Samoan, and so factor in negatively. If for those people who see color, I should say, in that sense.
I don't think it'll factor in negatively all that much.
That's it. Well, I'm saying that's the only way it would factor in is just from a slightly negative perspective for anybody who saw it as a racial issue and didn't know what her true race was.
Anyone who thinks like that isn't going to vote Democrat anyway.
Right. Hopefully. They would consider switching, though. I mean, if you had somebody that was, strong enough in character, that's the thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have the character to overshadow Trump with the Republican voters. That's what I think it's going to take, in my opinion. You're going to have to present the capability to be as strong as Trump without the fucking shenanigans, the shenanigan mindset. I don't know. So that the American people don't necessarily feel like they're being played or lied to or things like this. I don't know. I just think she's got a certain level of charisma and character or power in the way she presents herself that, yes, she could stand toe-to-toe with Donald Trump and potentially win. But it depends on where her emotional breaking point is. That's going to be the real decider. You know, if she reaches an emotional breaking point that, you know, basically is counterproductive, you know, makes her irrational in what she says. Did something get typed in chat? Do you see that?
Yeah.
It looks like a period. Oh, we got a period. Ah, the period has struck again.
Oh, snap. We have a period in the chat.
Suddenly.
Very strange.
We'll be back in.
Oh, period.
We'll be
How you
back.
doing,
We'll be
period?
back in 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
All right.
5 to 7 days. Right.
So anyway,
So,
but
well, hang on, real quick.
yeah, go
No,
ahead.
we'll take care of it off the stream. No, we'll take care of it off the stream. That's fine.
What are we? We're
Just
taking.
so we didn't change the title of the DLive stream.
Oh, can you do it? You have access.
I don't know how. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up.
I think I do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that part. I was thinking it carried over from the one title I put into. Hey, you know, this is one of those things where we're playing it.
That's why we're doing the stream. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're doing it now and not.
Hey, if that's the only thing that we run into out of the whole thing, I'll take it as a slight win. Okay, I'll take it as a win because we're broadcasting on 2 places now. So, but anyway, now one other thing, since you brought up intersectionality, and you know that of course makes me think of everything SJW, virtue signaling. Well, Kellogg's. Kellogg's, our friends at Kellogg's, because we love Kellogg's cereals, and they do make a variety of cereals that lots of people do love. I mean, I have to say, but they are now the latest victims of virtue signaling with a new cereal that they're going to put out. Well, looking at the article, one would think it's a new cereal, and the way it talks about it, it's called Kellogg's All Together cereal. And you'll notice, you see in the bowl, okay, in the bowl are a whole bunch of different Kellogg cereals. You'll see Mini Wheats, you'll see Fruit Loops, you'll see what is it? Which is, what is
Lucky Charms.
What's the one with the bird?
No, not Lucky Charms.
That's Fruit Loops with the bird. Who's the...
Hang on. I have it. It was like around the tip of my tongue. Fuck. It's like Frosted Flakes, but slightly different.
Well, Tony the Tiger is Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. It's like that, but different.
You're talking about the cornflakes. The bird is for cornflakes, I believe.
Cornflakes, yeah.
And then you have the Rice Krispies boys, and then you have Raisin Bran. So
you know what's funny is I used to do that same exact thing. Like when the box was almost empty, and like you pour that in, then you get to open another box and you mix that.
Right.
That wasn't enough for a whole bowl, so you'd have like Frosted Mini Wheats and like Lucky Charms mixed together. Pretty good stuff.
I'm not only going to call shenanigans for the virtue signaling, because this is a support in support of LGBTQ rights, equality, etc., etc. Yeah. Diversity, woo! But I'm gonna call shenanigans for false advertising, because you see this, right? You see this. So when I look at that bowl and I look at this picture of this box, I think I'm going to open that box and I'm just going to dump out a whole mix of cereals into a bowl. It's not, John. It's not. What they
really?
Because inside this box are smaller, segregated boxes of the same of these cornflakes, Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, Frosted Mini Wheats, Raisin Bran, and Rice Krispies. It's their variety pack, but put into.
That's not indicative of like the left in general. It's just like hey, we're all together, but you stay over there.
But you have to mix us together because we're still segregated inside this category. We're inside this. We're inside this big category box. And we're all labeled and in our own separate boxes.
Awesome.
Yeah. when I saw that, I look at the box and I'm like, holy shit, they're going to make a cereal and put all these cereals in it. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then I start reading and I read and I read and I read and it's like, oh, it's their variety pack and there will be those boxes inside one box. Like, you bastards, you lying bastards.
Yeah.
And are they really all together just because they're in adjoining cells? I mean, if you think about it.
Oh my god. Swing and a miss. Yeah. That's pretty good.
They're partnering with Glad to put this cereal out, and it runs now. The package,
Glad?
huh? Say what?
Glad the garbage bags?
No, Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation.
Oh.
Now check this out. The package, which features all of the cereal mascots from Tony the Tiger to Toucan Sam, runs $19.99 with a promise from Kellogg to donate $50,000 to Glad.
Okay.
So it's a 20.
Are they full-size boxes? Because goddamn. No.
It just says it's a limited edition variety pack. But apparently this is the first thing. I don't know. I can't imagine it's the only time.
Oh no.
What was the original name for candy corn?
I have no clue. I lose this one. Because I don't know. Yeah. Can't let there just be dead air there, Robert.
That's why you need to keep talking when you see me off in space trying to think.
Well,
I need to hear some of your outrage about this cereal, John. Let's hear it. Here. Maybe this will help. Here's Kellogg's statement. We all belong together. So for the first time in history, our famous mascots and cereals are offered exclusively together in the same box for all together cereal. Kellogg said in that statement, "It's a symbol of acceptance no matter how you look, where you're from, or who you love. We believe that all people deserve an environment where they can be their best selves, as long as they're in their own box."
Right, as long as they're in their own box, separate away from the rest of them.
Candy corn, originally named.
You sure it wouldn't be candy corn?
Sugar corn. I want sugar corn.
Sugar corn? That might be a thing.
Sugar corn. I probably not. This is the best. It is actually the worst candy. It's the worst Halloween candy. The worst East. It's nothing but just disgusting sugar now. Waxy sugar now. It's nothing. They're disgusting.
I used to like them back when I liked.
Well, you don't like anything, you don't like anything sweet anymore. So your opinion is pointless.
Yeah, it's true.
Pointless, sir.
It's true. I don't eat sweets. Yeah. I rarely even drink sodas. Very rarely. If they have whiskey in them, I'll drink it. But that's about it.
So
I don't really just drink soda.
Any cereal?
Water mostly and beer.
Any cereal outrage, John? Any at all?
No, just laughter. So
no outrage.
Hilarious. No, they can't even get it right.
Are there any of these cereal heroes you don't want to? You wish you didn't have to see on this box? Because I'm like, man, Tony the Tiger, dude, really?
Tony's been gay forever.
No, he has not.
I like all those. I like all those cereals. So it's all good.
Tony the Tiger is not gay. He's not.
He's pretty gay. It's okay. He's allowed to be gay.
Snap, crackle, and pop, though, they're gay. I'm just saying. They're gay.
I don't think so. They're brothers, aren't they?
What's that got to do with anything? You don't know where they're from. They might be from Alabama. They might be from Arkansas. They might be from, Poland.
Poland.
I was trying to think of some place non-America to say. Russia.
Your first thought was Poland.
Yes, because I had to look up a name today to find out where the surname was from, and it was Poland. So Poland's been in my head.
Gotcha.
Cameron, neither one of us know for
Yeah, so-
sure without looking it up.
Yeah, we're fucking idiots.
And I'm not going to
Yeah,
cheat, but
this is how the whole game's gonna go.
sugar
on
corn.
Halloween. That's how the
Well,
whole game
sugar corn is
just
the
being
best.
like, no.
Yeah, sugar corn is the best. No, it's a good question though. That's a very good trivia question
It's a
for.
good question, but I'm saying like if that's that's how it's gonna be a lot. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, don't be surprised. I've heard this. I know I can't remember. For some reason, I'm thinking sugar corn, but I know that there's an original name for candy corn. Hopefully, he'll tell us once he realizes that neither one of us are going to come up with the answer. We're not going to look it up because that would be cheating,
Yeah,
and I don't
hopefully.
cheat.
That would be. Nope.
I don't cheat on my
You handle
co-host. But boy, how do my
I
co-host
do.
will cheat on me. Hey,
All the
so
time.
about China. Have you seen
China?
China? Have you talked China at all? Seen anything going on over
Have you
there?
seen this? Have you heard about this? What do we
All right.
say, 109?
Reportedly, Xi in China, just let you know,
I heard he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
was reported to say anyone who attempts to split any region from China will perish, with their bodies smashed and bones ground to powder. Any external
That's what we need
forces,
more of.
any external forces that support the splitting of China can only be regarded as delusional by the Chinese people.
Sounds like somebody else we know. But yeah, no, we need more talk like that. I miss like that kind of, very descriptive, flowery, talk. And crush your bones into powder and snort it and get high off of your essence. I don't know.
Really, wouldn't you much rather have things like, hey, friend American, nobody in the world's mad at each other, and we all say nice things about each other. Come see China. It's fun. It's
No.
beautiful. It's a different
That'd
environment.
be
Enjoy.
boring.
Really?
That'd be boring.
I would
Yeah.
love a life like that. Because you don't have the pressure of
that'd be
worrying
boring.
about what your kids are going to be raised into.
I guess.
See, without kids, your perspective is
Hey,
not properly screwed. Hey,
Hey, Ed, do you
Mr.
know the
Ed.
answer? It's pretty awesome. He's asking how our new chat is. It's pretty sweet.
It's looking good.
Um,
Can you see it on your screen? It's looking fun.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm liking it. It's fun. Of course, I got to remember to. I didn't change the title in DLive. John pointed that out, so I just got to remember to do
Yeah.
the little things. But everything else has worked out good. If you haven't tried it, I strongly recommend it. And I fumbled my way through it, but I did I used a video to walk me through. But I think you were testing it out. How's yours been?
And do you know what was the original name for candy corn? Because we still haven't found out, and we don't know. We're dumb.
I think Cameron's just going to leave us hanging because he's a tease.
I think he is. Fucking tease.
I feel bald. Blue bald. But anyway, so here's something I wanted to, so of course understand he just did his first multi-platform stream.
Just got done.
He just got done. Nice. Did you change the sheets? If you don't get the blood out right away.
No, he just used a suck.
He just
No
lost.
cleanup.
He lost his multi-stream cherry.
Guest hosted you on Twitch. That's kind of cool. So you like simul-streamed. Chicken feed apparently is what Candy Corn's original name was.
You both
And
disappointed.
yeah, Cameron, get used to us disappointing you.
I mean, how do you expect? So you're talking to a person who doesn't like candy, and John, or doesn't eat candy, never
And
hard.
an old person.
Yeah, and for me, someone who hates candy corn and has, I can't tell you the last time I ate a candy corn. And I will say this: the last time I did eat a candy corn, and on purpose, it was only to verify that it had still become the most shitty candy that you can get at Halloween. But.
Yeah.
Chicken feed. It's chicken feed.
Chicken feed.
Jay,
yeah,
it says there's a blue ball next to my
disappointed,
name in the chat. Ooh.
Cameron. Yeah, but Cameron, prepare to be disappointed continuously if you're going to make questions like that, because neither of us know much about Halloween. So, yeah. We'll compete against the chat. We'll be one mind. We'll have one answer, and then the chat can be themselves. and we'll compete against the chat. Although they have the chance to Google and stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I
they'll
don't know how it's
cheat.
gonna work.
I imagine a lot of the people we get in our chat are cheater pumpkin eaters.
They are.
Mm. Ed loves candy corn. Yeah, then
So
that
he's the one who
is,
stopped at the wrong people.
yeah, that's just horrible stuff right there. It's just disgusting stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. Waxy corn waxy sugar it just stopped being a thing I liked a
Waxy.
long time ago. And there's other stuff that's like that. I mean,
Yes, Cameron. Make it multiple choice. That will do
you
wonders.
you can make it a mix. I mean, they don't all have to be multiple choice. I mean, you notice the first one you asked, John got it. I mean, I was
Yeah.
on track. I was trying to think. I was thinking in a
I
different
happen to be
direction,
familiar with
but
the movies,
yeah.
but I don't watch a lot of horror movies.
I mean,
Maybe that was just a fluke.
use your discretion if you think it might be a challenging question, which I'm sure you didn't think candy corn was, but again, it's the audience, that
Right.
you're
You
asking
got to
the
remember
questions
we're
to.
idiots. So.
Well, I gave better reasons, I think, as to why we would know. But yeah, I mean, use your discretion. If you think it needs to be a multiple choice, please do, and if not, that's fine. All I ask is no essay, right, John? No essay questions.
No, hell no, hell no.
Whew, whew.
You know the standardized tests and stuff. I don't know. You didn't have to take any because they didn't have pencils back when you were in school. But I'm sure your kids
Oh,
did.
we had
Take like the
standardized
tests.
tablets. Yeah, we had to chisel standardized tablets.
um, yeah. So like at the end they'll do like an essay question.
Right.
Yeah, I wrote one on the thumb ring one time, which is like an archery accessory that helps you pull back the bow more. And I just bullshitted 5 paragraphs about it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That's all I knew about it.
that's
That one sentence that I just mentioned.
that's kind of
So
how
I just bullshitted 5 paragraphs.
that's kind of how I got through most of college. It's like two
Yeah, you
hours
can make it
before I go to
document.
bed, the night before everything needed to be turned in, I'd do all the work and
Right.
just get through it. But I mean, if you've got the chops, do it, right? So anyway, about Hong Kong. Now I want to address Hong Kong only from the fact that so these protests have been going on for months, right? And now when these protests originally started, there was one key issue that was at a point, right, for them. And at one point, the leadership in Hong Kong said that they would sit down with them and discuss, right? Ask them to come to the table, and the protesters refused. And part of why they haven't sat down at the table is because the protesters are ramping up what they're wanting. So now instead of what they originally is just the one thing now they have 5 main demands, and they won't accept anything less. So it's like,
Nice.
okay, so over these months, they've increased what they're asking for and demanding. And I still say that leadership in Hong Kong and China have been handling this in a surprisingly tame way, because the only ones they're really dealing with still, the protesters, are the police. With an entire army poised to move, they've still only been dealing with police. Now, during the course of the protests, police have been dealing with a lot of stuff, like they're protesters setting up roadblocks, torching businesses, where the police had to respond with tear gas, water cannons. They are, apparently they've had to set off they've pulled a couple of suspicious packages or what appeared to be bombs and exploded them with bomb robots, things like this. And then what kills me the most is when Figo Chan, he's vice convener of the Civil Human Rights Front, was talking to reporters, and this is what he supposedly said to the reporters. He said, "We're using peaceful, rational, non-violent ways to voice our demands. We're not afraid of being arrested. What I'm most scared of is everyone giving up on our principles. Now, I have to ask, does that sound like when protesters are moving through the streets along the way, protesters trash discount grocery shops and a restaurant chain because of what they said is the pro-Beijing ownership of the companies. They also set fire to ATMs and branches of mainland Chinese banks, setting off sprinklers in at least 2, as well as a shop selling products for Chinese smartphone maker Xiaomi. And that's when the police also use a disposal robot, blowing up a cardboard box with wires sticking out of it, blah, blah, blah. Does that sound like a peaceful, rational, non-violent protest to you, John?
I mean, certainly not peaceful, and certainly not non-violent. I don't know about rational. Seems like they're targeting, places.
Well, government.
Hopefully they're right.
Right.
Hopefully they're right and not just attacking a random person's, shop. But yeah, I mean,
I think it's ludicrous for someone who is, heading an organization like the Civil Human Rights Front there, can qualify this as those things. I mean, I think it misrepresents what's actually going on. And, it kind of, I don't know, it comes across as hypocritical. Why would you want to sit down with someone who, I mean, it seems deceptive to me. I don't know.
well, I mean,
is it to try and paint a martyr picture?
Well, obviously they're trying to get people's attention, right? And obviously the guy who said that stuff isn't in control of the mob. He might be representing them, but he's not running things. He's not saying, "Oh, go target this, go target." Right? It's mostly they're doing it on their own.
Sure, but he's got
so
to
you might find a lot of protesters who don't want to do that, and don't think that that's the right way to go, and other ones do, and they're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, it's the thing about mob mentality is it's really hard to control for at times.
Yeah, I get.
You can point them in a direction, but you can't control what they're going to do once they get there. I mean,
it's the kind of thing where if it were me sitting in power in China, knowing, if I were to step into Xi's shoes, I would scoff at that and say, okay, now you've just put me one step closer. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and start preparing the military to move in. Go ahead and get that ball rolling, because you're full of shit right now, because buildings are being destroyed, people's lives are being, ruined, for supposed affiliations with the Chinese leadership, Beijing, whatever.
The mainland. Yeah.
Come on. Really? This is what you're gonna? You need to get a grip on your fucking people if this is what you're seeing versus what they're actually doing.
Right. So, I mean, he's in a tough spot when it comes to that, because the whole world is watching right now, and so if he's just going to go in and just crush any resistance, it's going to look really bad to the rest of the world, and they're less likely to go and put their money in China.
So does that opinion still hold water when you think, when you consider the fact that this has been going on for how many months now? I mean, and and Xi has had the patience this long to allow this to happen.
Steven's in the chat.
Steven Ignoramus. This look is spooky.
Spooked us.
That's what we're hoping for. And at Ed J Edgar, no, we are only on this in DLive. I'm going to go ahead and look at setting up Twitch, Periscope. I was on the fence about Facebook.
Twitch and Facebook. No, fuck Twitch and Facebook.
I don't know why I would fuck either one of them, but I don't. So we're going to talk about it, and we'll see. I don't know why John has such apathy or apprehension or angst or
it's not apathy,
anger
actually,
or
angst.
I'm throwing out a bunch of ones here. Pick which one you like. I don't care. I'm just putting them out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, we're
More
going to
like
look at doing more.
animosity more than anything else.
There's surprisingly enough, I mean, there's so many channels that you can throw your stuff out on, but some of them are just strictly gaming. You know, there's so many of them that are gaming. So, but anyway, good to see you guys. And, you know, I don't know, man, John, he's had patience for this long with all of this going on. If he moved now, I'm not going to say, oh, he's a bad guy for stomping on this protest. He's been a good guy for not stomping on it for as long as they've been going on. He has had.
You might not, but you don't have money in China.
Well,
and you're not. He has nothing to lose by losing your opinion.
No, I understand that, but these protests are not peaceful. They don't.
People are on the side of Hong Kong. They're not on the side of China in this case, for the most part.
Well, it depends. You know, are you talking about the world, or are you talking about in China?
I'm talking about corporations in America.
Well, you know, if you think it's just corporations in America,
They'd be likely.
He's said constantly that doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, that's what he says, but obviously it does. He needs our money. And if that's the case, and the customers of those corporations are going to demand that they pull their money out or not do business with them, and they're going to fold to the pressure.
Well, the thing is, we just got through doing an episode where we showed that when he pretty much told people, you won't be doing business here in China if you don't stop this. Look at how many people capitulated to China. I would think that he's pretty much got the power to make his move if he wants.
Yeah, you would think so, but as soon as he starts committing, because he already commits human rights violations and stuff like that all the time, and they still have business and everything, but people don't necessarily like that. But if you do something in Hong Kong, out in the open, where the whole world can see, it's a totally different story than putting some, Christians and Muslims in a camp and, starving them and, whatever else they're doing. It's a totally different thing.
John, let me ask you this. If we had a situation like this going on in America, where there was some sort of protest that had gotten this big, so I don't know, pick a topic, right? That went on for this long, but these kind of activities were happening. Honestly, would our government have waited this long to have used the military to shut it down?
Probably not.
And that is my point. And China is not expected to be a country that would put up with it for as long as they have. And I commend him for letting it go on as long as it has.
Wow.
I commend the leadership in Hong Kong. Hold on. In as far as not going ape shit on them like Tiananmen Square style. That's what I'm saying.
Nothing happened in Tiananmen Square. Everyone was on vacation.
But when
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, commend is not, maybe that's the wrong word, but I will support the idea that if he moves in to stop these protests at this point, he's not being rash and he's not stepping on over a line. You know, if he just rolled out on day one and just rolled over everybody with fucking tanks in the beginning, that's different. But
let me ask you then, what do you think is stopping him?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It is honestly what I'm trying to figure out. And I know you say it's the money, the trade deal. I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for this trade deal to be signed. I don't know. There's going to, but it's the strong pose that they just showed with their money and companies that are in their country. That stance that they took and how it worked to their advantage.
And and Voltus, I heard that an Extinction Rebellion protest got outlawed. That's a terrible precedent to set.
Wait, please?
To be fine with that, but
please explain what a Extinction Rebellion protest.
Extinction Rebellion, yeah, that's it's really huge in London, but it's like pretty much worldwide. Or it's supposed to be worldwide. There's some in I think it was like San Francisco and something like some other place. But it's basically like a huge protest against like climate change or the climate emergency or whatever they're calling it this week. Um, yeah, it's really cult like. It's very strange. I recommend you look it up.
Do they
It's
get
really weird.
do they get violent or anything?
Not really. No, not that I've seen. There's been a few arrests, but that's mainly because like they'll jump on top of a train or something like that, or basically just being disruptive is really what they're doing. I don't think they've gotten violent though. If they have, someone correct me, but I don't. Because I haven't paid that much attention to it, other than to like laugh at it. But I don't think anyone's gotten violent really.
Anavoltus, I see you threw the word debate up there. I'm curious if that's talking about the London Extinction Rebellion protests, or if that's in reference to Hong Kong.
No, that's
What?
something that I think was weird. I think he and I are set to debate on December 6th. We're going to do on the topic of justice is derived from authority. He's in the affirmative. I'm in the negative. When it comes to that, so I'll be arguing against the fact that justice derives from authority.
Why am I just finding out about this now?
Because it just got set up a little while ago.
Oh, behind my back? Are you plotting
Yeah.
behind my back?
Always.
Who's moderating?
We don't know yet. Figure that out. Don't worry. We have time. I'm really just. I was worried. I was worried about setting up the Halloween one first, and then worry about the December 6th one after.
Oh, so what's going on Halloween?
We're doing a stream.
Really?
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Well, you
Jake
should.
from Freedom Scoop might show up.
Really? That's awesome.
Stephen also might show up.
We might get some ignoramus on there. I wouldn't mind seeing J. Edgar show up.
Perhaps he will. Perhaps he will. We should ask him. J. Edgar, do you want to be on our Halloween special?
God, that was good. You asked so well.
I know.
Anyway,
I did.
All right. So anyway, So we'll put Hong Kong aside. I'm just saying, John. I don't think it gets to qualify as a human rights issue if the man moves in after this long of protests going on, especially with violence involved with them. Hey, he's only.
A lot of people will think that though. So I mean.
Hey, and again, I would ask that same question that I ask of you. What would we do in this country? How long would our military wait to act in the same situation? So
yeah, I mean, it would be really bad PR.
It would,
that sucks.
But depending on the administration, could you imagine how quickly they would move in this current administration? Fast mofos. All right. So anyway, hey, you don't spend $1 trillion on the military if you're not going to use those sons of guns. Hey, right. Hey, we're going to wrap it up here, folks. If you like what you're hearing, hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Please look for us on DLive as well. We're multi-streaming over there. Hey, don't forget, J. Edgar is doing the same thing. Not that I like to promote too many other people, but that's one of our Freedom Scoop buddies. He's awesome.
We'll promote him. He's cool.
As is Stephen Ignoramus and Wyatt at their roundtable decision. They're not the generational gap, but they're somebody. Right? Nothing rocks like the GG. Hey, John, Halloween, we're going to be having a Halloween Spooktacular coming up, right? And we've got Mr. Cameron Michael.
Right.
He's going to show up and do a little trivia with you, scary, spooky Halloween questioning period. Is that correct?
Yeah, I suppose. I'm sure it'll have a shorter name than that, but...
Yeah, I'm working on the name. I'm seeing if I can come up with any kind of maybe an acronym.
Perhaps
we can get an acronym.
Yeah.
Then what else have we got going on? Let's see. This coming next Monday for Shooting the Shit. What do we got going on next week?
Next Monday we've got R-rated conservative is going to be on the show, guesting, sitting right there between us. Right there. Between us.
Oh, he's going to be between us?
Then,
why is everybody always going between us?
I don't know. I guess we just, can't ever meet. It's like the story, what is that story? Where there's like, man.
Yeah,
It's gonna bother me now.
you just rolled a 1.
It's a myth about like on my history.
You just rolled a 1 on
One on my
history.
history check.
Shoosh.
I did.
You stumble incoherently and your show is canceled.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh my god. Yeah.
Anyway, so after the Halloween shenanigans, we've got something else coming up in December, and that is what is it?
Yes. Friday, December 6th, we've got our 12-hour live stream for Toys for Tots. So that's going to be awesome. Going to have some of these guys who are in the chat tonight. They're going to be there. They don't have a choice. I haven't asked them yet, but
yeah, we're expecting we expect everybody to show up for Christmas. It's going to be potluck, so bring your own microphone and camera.
Bring a dish.
Yeah, and yes, I think everybody should bring an on-camera dish that they'll eat. They can eat some of.
Bring a gift for me.
Why don't we do Secret Santa? Maybe we'll do Secret Santa.
No, everyone just bring a gift for me. It'll be fine.
For that beard you're going to shave off.
I'll have fun.
Hey, by the way, for Halloween, Cameron says it's a trademark pending. Gin Gap Spooky Quiztacular. See if I can't.
Yep.
I have to find. Let's see if I can't put together a graphic for that, and we'll have that available perhaps.
We should also figure out how to get the little bar there that says, this much till we reach our goal. That sort of deal. That would be kind of cool.
Ooh, calm down, John. What the hell do I look like?
If we could figure that out.
What am I, Stephen Hawking? What am I, Stephen Hawking? Hawking?
Oh god, that hurt. Rip headphone users.
I am no rocket surgeon. I'm just telling you.
That's right. So anyway, yes, that's what we have going on in the near future. Those 3 things, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All of them.
You know what else Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got a Freedom Scoop stream coming up, don't we?
I believe so. I think we need to touch. You need to. Since you're our show coordinator as far as appearances.
Oh, damn it.
You're going to have to make sure we've got that set up, and maybe give me some advance notice.
I'm a really bad.
I like being a part of. I like being a part of these things that are happening. It's an exciting day. I never know what's going to happen from show to show. I'm like, there's a stunning new revelation from John. Thanks, John. But anyway, so we will be back here on Friday. I'm seeing if I can't work something out. We may have a small guest appearance from someone that I want to talk to about a topic that could be interesting for, I don't know, anybody who follows it in the news, but maybe only 3 people do. Who knows? But anyway, we'll be back on Friday for our regular show at 8:30. Hopefully we'll be doing all of this again. Hopefully nothing breaks tonight, and I've got the whole DLive / YouTube multi-streaming going on. Chat available readily there. And then outside of that, we'll be back on Monday, as John said, for our next Shootin' the Shit episode. Until then, buy a T-shirt. We are on Freedom Scoop. You can go there, catch us. You catch Jay Edgar there. You'll see Stephen Ignoramus there. You'll see Wyatt from Roundtable Decision. You can pick up swag. It's going to be the Generational Gap T-shirt is there. There's other items on the store as well. We also have the Generational Gap coffee mug. Hey, go check it out. If you want, for your Gin Gap t-shirt, there's a code down in the bottom, Gin Gap. Put it into your shopping cart and it'll get you 15% off the shirt. I highly recommend it. It's very comfortable, and it feels like
it is good quality.
I feel like I'm wearing a little slice of the future. Anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here, John. Thanks for stopping by, and until Friday, I'll talk to you later.
Yep. See you guys.